What are you doing, big dog? You're on camera. You're tearing up my pages. You're tearing up my notes, sir. Hey, everybody. How you guys doing? Bob Iger has just stepped down as CEO of Disney. Bob Iger has been making some interesting statements for a while. For recently, he's been making some interesting statements. We'll go over those later, but you may have seen in the news, Elon Musk is in the news right now for telling somebody to F off. That's Bob Iger. That's what he's talking about. Bob Iger is the CEO of Disney. So Disney and Apple have both decided that Elon Musk said something he shouldn't have. I don't even know if I should say Elon's name in the beginning of this. I wonder if you can say that in the first 2 minutes. But they've decided that Disney and Apple decided that Elon said something so horrible they can't advertise there no more. And Elon's response was, you think you can control me with your money? Go F yourself. Fair enough. So that happens, and within 24 hours, Bob Iger steps down. We are also seeing a mass wave of people on Twitter. Now, who knows? This could just be because Twitter is what it is. They like Elon. Saying, yeah, we canceled our Disney Plus subscriptions. But if we really look at the Disney Plus subscriptions, it was a success immediately. Because it turns out there is a very loyal fan base that will buy anything that Disney puts out. They'll take it. But after that, what did they have? What was Disney Plus giving us after Baby Yoda? That's what it gave. I mean, Baby Yoda was around for a while. He's still cute. The Mandalorian, right? It was a good show. It was good for a season. But they messed that up, right? They started with the politics. The woman said something that she shouldn't. Gina Carano said something that she shouldn't have, and then they fired her, right? Ben Shapiro hires her so that she can keep working. He's like, she's a great actor. She is a cool actor. Disney doesn't really have anything anymore. And it looks like they are on pace to lose somewhere around $200 billion this year. That's an estimate I heard the other day. That at the end of the year, they are guesstimating that they will lose somewhere around $200 billion. And you would think, how could they lose so much money? This is like an institution. It's Disney World. It's like Walmart. It's like Walmart with a capital city in Florida, right? They've got their own city. They've got their own laws, money, lawyers, lifetime employees, like the Church of Scientology over there. So they inherit this. I mean, it's Mickey Mouse, right? This is Walt Disney, right? Remember him? So they inherit this empire, this media empire, and then they grow it because that's what you do. That's what things do whenever they become large. They start attracting other things, right? Orbit and whatnot, gravitational pull. They snatch up, what do they own? I think they own Columbia Broadcasting or something like that now. They own Fox, right? They own Lucasfilms. They own the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's a Jesus. If that's the one that is hurts the most. That or Star Wars, I don't know. They ruined so many things. And that's the thing, is that they're buying up all this stuff, and there doesn't seem to be any focus on quality, right? They're just putting out massive amounts. Like how many remakes did they make? Right? Let me look at what I got a list of the videos here. Well, you would wonder, how could they possibly lose $200 billion with these hits right here? Hold on, I'm gonna read you some of these hits. Dashing Through the Snow. You remember that? That killed it at the box office. Peter Pan and Wendy, because that needed to be remade again. Peter Pan's a trans boy. Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion has a remake. Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion, the first one, wasn't really good enough to be making another one. And it ain't been that long. Come on. Crater? I don't even know what the hell that is. Crater? You may know that? You guys see that? Smash hit. Crater? You know Disney's smash hit? They bought up everything under the goddamn sun, and now nobody can make anything decent because you own everything and you turn to shit. Right? You can't make a good film no more, so now can't nobody make a good film. We can't have a good Indiana Jones film. You done bought that shit up. You bought the Star Wars up. You bought all the superheroes up. How Disney own all the superheroes? There's America's superheroes, dog. Those ain't yours. Come on, homie. They're ruining them. Feeding us some garbage. Guardians of the Galaxy. I know what that is. I'm guessing that's either not a remake or a sequel or whatever. So I guess there's one of those. Indiana Jones. I do remember that at least coming out. Wasn't it horrible? I thought they said it was horrible. And that she went back and like erased her father or something like that. Like she didn't need no man in her life. So that's what happened. I think that was the punchline of all of that, is that like his daughter went back in time or some shit like that and erased him. And basically, yeah, that was like the premise. She didn't need no man. She had it taken care of. She was the real explorer. And they said he was all dumb. He was like old and enfeebled. My dog is attacking me right now. That he was enfeebled and everything else, just acting stupid. Come on, that's Indiana Jones. That fool be swinging off like whips and shit. You know what I mean? And they're gonna throw some snarky female in there, and then what? She's gonna get the better of him. Come on, homie. That fool spent the 80s, you know what I mean? Knocking down females like that. Knocking down females in their 20s like that. Get out of here. It's Indiana Jones. This fool, Kalima, right? You know what I mean? He been through all kinds of craziness. Oh, but yeah, he met his match now. His cunt daughter showed up. Got an attitude problem. People think having an attitude problem... Hollywood thinks that if you give a woman an attitude problem, it's actually a personality. They seem to think that that's a personality. Right? I'm getting so many text messages right now. This is ridiculous. Okay, I've gotten like 10 text messages since I started this. Anyway, you remember all this. Once Upon a Studio and Boogeyman and Little Mermaid. This is flop, dude. Little Mermaid, did you see the bitch? Did you see her like this? No, more text messages. Did you see her like this with the eyes? Come on, dog. And then they just found some black girl. They're like, oh yeah, she gotta be black. Okay. Yeah, that helped. They gotta stop, man. And then on top of that, they get this fool Bob Iger in there to do this and to turn the ship around. And what's he do? Just remake after remake after remake of just garbage. I wouldn't be surprised if that's those Ghostbusters. Wasn't the Ghostbusters? Isn't that owned by them too? It's just, man. So what are we supposed to do now? These one companies done bought everything up. Like we talked about it in the 80s and the 90s whenever I was, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, these big multinational corporations, we got to stop them. Well, we didn't stop them. And so now there's this. Now it costs $1 billion to make a movie. Or no, I guess, what does it cost? Okay. They say basically Disney considered it, and I remember hearing this, Disney considered it $1 billion to basically break even. If they make a movie, it's got to be $1 billion for them to say it's worth it, right? It was worth what they did for them to actually make some money. And most of these movies this year are not. clocking in $1 billion. So you figure they're in the red anyway because they're pumping out massive amounts of money, and what's coming back is just not coming back. And yeah, it's not coming back, right? And then the stock has collapsed, right? From its high of like 140 or 150 a couple years back, somewhere around 90 now. It's still not as low enough for me to buy any. Well, so now we got this new dude, right? Because so that's what's been going on, is that somebody knew that this was happening. There's an investor named, I can't think of his name right now. Give me a second, I'll remember it. He, a while back, he started buying up huge chunks of Disney stock and started talking about like, hey, you know, I'd like a seat on the board over there. And they shined him on. Bob Iger and them shined him on. So he's kept buying more and more and more. And well, now he's demanding not only a seat on the board, he's demanding a couple. He's like, nah, now I'd like a seat on the board for myself and some more people too, right? Since y'all wanted to shut me down the first time. And they can shut him down again right now. They can actually shut him down again right now. But then he can do a real hostile takeover in the spring meeting. Because there's a meeting coming up and there's a chance for him to do a real one. If he throws some more money and gets him, because now he's at a point where he can put the linchpin on the situation. If he tells one of his partners, or if he's even got them enough money to be like, you know what, I'm done with this, and buys up another huge chunk of stock, he's just going to own too much of it. They're not going to be able to do anything, you know what I mean? They're not going to be able to go against him. So I still can't remember his damn name. Not really important. Hostile takeover Disney. That's all you got to look up. Hostile takeover Disney. I should have his name written down. It doesn't matter though. It's not really important. What's important is that Bob Iger's decided he doesn't want to deal with it any longer. And he's been going through it for a couple months because their stock price is very low. And they don't seem to be able to produce a movie that doesn't have some political nonsense in it. People don't want to hear this. You know, it's like they just don't. It's weird because they just don't understand. It's like you've got a whole collection of movies. You own everything. Just go watch some of those old movies, the ones that did really, really, really good. Isolate the commonalities, right? Isolate the shit that worked well. Take that and go make a movie. Throw Tom Cruise and some other good-looking people in it, and they can't get it. They can't get it no more. Because everything that they do is built around an ideology. It's built around a message. It's built around trying to talk or convince people into believing a certain thing. And, you know, humans aren't stupid. We know when we're being preached to. We know whenever somebody's trying to convince us of something, you know, whenever somebody won't let something go. And somehow or another, these, you know, the leftists have decided that as long as they press the message, it doesn't matter if we can tell that we're being preached to. They say that in authoritarian countries, they don't care what you think. They care what you say. Think whatever you want. You think you hate the government in Russia, you can hate the government, good for you. Get out of here. Stay off TV. Don't go on the radio. Don't be out there with the bullhorn. You go to jail. You cause problems, you go to jail. Well, you can go be as mad as you want. You can go be as mad as you want in your house. If Putin shows up, you can flip him off, tell him to go fuck himself. You won't go to jail. You can do that. But if you go stand on a street corner and spread your message, you will. Because they have to control In authoritarian countries, they have to control what you do. In free countries like America, they can't control what we do. It's in the Constitution. You can't make me do anything. So you have to control what I think. This is why all this money is pumped into propaganda. And it's pumped into advertising. Sales, marketing, advertising. But the government's horrible at advertising most things. Every once in a while they get something right. You'll remember the living wage argument. Remember that? That was brilliant. Living wage. Remember Bernie Sanders. Remember all them years ago, Bernie Sanders brought that in, a living wage, $15 an hour living wage. I'm not saying it was a good idea, but it was a great marketing ploy because we still remember it today. It was a good way to frame it. Living wage. Elon Musk labels the plastic seats in his car as I forget what it was, faux vegan or something like that. I forget what it is. It's something funny though. It's a brilliant advertising scheme. My point is, the people who got control of these companies have seemed to stop caring a while ago if we were watching. Which is weird. Like, think about the Hollywood strike that's going on right now. You think this is really about a strike, or do you think, I think they might be scared to make movies. Anything you make's gonna flop. Weinstein showed us that they're just a bunch of degenerates, right? Like the whole city knew all that was going on, that this fool was just goosing everybody who was under 20. You know what I mean? In Hollywood, including minors. And nobody said nothing, right? But they make these movies preaching to us. Nobody's interested anymore. Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, has mentioned several times in the last 6 months jettisoning assets, slimming profiles. These are words for selling stuff, selling Star Wars, selling whatever, selling things, selling assets, jettisoning assets, getting rid of stuff, looking at what is profitable and looking at what is not. He's also laid off, I believe they laid off 7,000 people. And there's talk of more layoffs to come. And now he's just publicly gotten into a fight with Elon Musk. And he's been told to go F himself. Now he's going to resign. It might be the best thing to do. I don't know. We're going to see how many people quit Disney Plus today. Or next week. Maybe it'll only come in on the quarter. Something like that. But we're going to find out how many people quit Disney Plus. Maybe he's trying to stop that. Perhaps he figures that if he steps down, he can stop that bleeding. Either way, I really hope this new guy takes control of Disney and makes good movies again. I just want to see good movies, though. I just want to see Toy Story. Make another fucking Toy Story. Make another Shrek. Pick any of them, dude. Pick a good movie. There's so many good Disney movies, right? So many good Disney movies. The Little Mermaid was great. They managed to screw that up. Anyway, later, my friends. This is it. This is on my mind. It's breaking news. This is what's going on. Bob Iger.